Hey, welcome. Grab a seat anywhere. No, we don't have any menus. The only thing we have today is the freedom to express who you truly are. We call it Authenticity Radio. You'll like it, don't worry. Let me go grab the host. He's got the hospitality of a fat and jolly innkeeper. He's a good guy. Slade Suter.
Hello and welcome to today's program. This is Slade Suter. Today's program is The Voice of Love. If there ever was a voice of love, well, we have her on Authenticity Radio today. In everything that Mitra Rahbar does, she creates. She's a poet, she's a songwriter, she's a singer, and she's a writer. And as I said before, the voice of love. So, Mitra Rahbar, welcome to Authenticity Radio.
Oh, that was like that. Thank you, Slade. And I tell you, that introduction just makes me, it just puts such a joy in my heart. Thank you so much. To be the voice of love, that's just beautiful. It humbles me. But thank you. I'm so happy for this opportunity, and to all the listeners that are listening from various parts of the world, a warm hello and blessing and greeting.
And I was thinking, Mitra, how fitting this title is, because so much of what you do, in all the way from your writing, your prose and your poetry and your songwriting, and of course your singing, that has to do with peace. You bridge peace wherever you go. And for our listeners, we're going to play a couple of selections today from Mitra, and she'll comment on them afterwards. And I was very excited that Mitra is coming through Spain on her way to Iran. However, I'm not going to be able to meet with her. And listening to your music, I hear that your husband is very well versed at the Spanish guitar. Is that true?
That's correct. My husband is a Spanish guitarist, and he has a very, very tender spot for Spain in his heart. And so, yes, we're coming to the south of Spain, to Andalusia, on our way to the middle. Yes. So, and I'm so thrilled to be on your radio show, because I feel Authenticity Radio is a very good name.
Well, this is your home, and hopefully this is not going to be your only appearance here in Mitra. Maybe you'll come back and visit us.
I think we're going to be having a journey together, Slade, for a long time.
How wonderful it is to be on the beginning part of this journey with you. And speaking of beginnings, when did you start singing? When did you begin singing?
Well, I started, everything started young with me. I started singing and playing musical instruments and basically dancing and being creative and acting when I was very, very young. I don't know if there was a point where I could say, that's when I started, but I can remember when I was 3 years old and a relative in Iran asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be on stage, but I want to help people.
Okay, so ever since you were young, you were singing, dancing, moving, and creating.
And creating. It's changed its form. There was a time I would do dance choreography more. There was a time I was involved in acting, and then there was singing. It's always been just basically channeling something creatively.
Okay, so Mitra, where do you live now?
I live in the United States right now. I'm in Southern California.
Oh, Southern California. How has your experience been in the States?
I mean, U.S. became my second home after I immigrated from Iran to the United States for my education, and then ended up being here. So it is my second home. It's where it opened its arms to me. It's where I've grown a lot, learned a lot. I still consider, Iran, it's my heart. So I would say, yes, the United States is my home, but I also feel Iran is my heart. So
Oh, I love that image. The U.S. is your home, and Iran holds your heart. I know that you have some recordings out there. Can you tell us a little bit about your work and your recordings?
Yeah, so basically I have 3-4 albums that are singing albums. Then I have one album that is basically a spoken word. It's From Fear to Joy. Mm-hmm. And then I've written a book which will be out in 2015, which is basically a book on devotional prayers, but written in a lyrical, poetic style, in an Eastern style of language. And I have many things on YouTube, which are both spoken words and singing. You know, it's been that I've always said that the pillars of my life have been built on 3 things. And those pillars,
wow, 3 pillars.
Those pillars are very important, as you know.
What are your 3 pillars?
Yeah, well, the thing is, for me, it's always been the 3 things, and from very young. And one is basically spiritual enlightenment and devotion to that kind of life. Mm-hmm. And then artistry is another one. And the third one is service. I was a social worker. And in my spiritual or artistic pursuits in life, my work, it always has to have some element of service for me.
Yeah.
Whether that service is, for example, going and working, volunteering once in a while, or speaking at a women's shelter, or helping out with the orphanage mentorship program in the Middle East. I like to feel that more than just the spiritual doctrine and speaking on spirituality and various subjects or singing, that there is an active role that I'm taking in creating betterment.
So this call to service has brought you to social work.
In my heart, I always say I'm a social worker in my heart. Just trying to work at whatever ways I can to create better energies socially.
You know, Mitra, I feel that there's an excitement in people that are doing this type of service work and helping humanity. Or it's kind of like an unrest, something that's that needs to be done. And now, you know, whatever you can do, just get off your reary-deary and just let's get to work. Do you experience this? What's your take on this?
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's like people who feel this compelling need. That's because I know it's a compelling need to really actively be a part of creating the synergy of enlightenment or peace or consciousness. They really feel that time is of the essence, that they don't have time. Sometimes when I travel once a year to Iran and I'm so busy there, I do so many workshops, always my friends and relatives say, well, you came here and you really haven't had time to visit us. You've been why do you make yourself so busy? And I say to them, you don't understand. I don't choose this because it's, I'm just choosing this. It's chosen for me.
Yeah.
And I just going with this tide. I have to feel that I'm giving this energy. And because I think it's a selection. It's like we are soldiers of this consciousness, soldiers of whatever you want to call it, of service. And when you feel it's a life. I always say what I do is not a job. It's my life. There's a big difference. There's no retirement for me saying, at 65 I retire. No. This is just a continue. Whatever I do, whatever we choose to do, whether it's writing, whether it's singing, whether it's whatever it is, there is a reason behind it, and it's not for the ego. And I think that's the big thing. It is not for the ego. It's not for me to feel important. It's not for me to feel recognized. It's just for this continuation of flow that I feel I'm connecting, to that flow, to those dots. And there are many, many thousands of people like me, like you, and there's a responsibility, and that's why we feel compelled.
Maybe it's this quality of selflessness and inspiration that is so that makes your music so attractive. A matter of fact, this is probably a good place to introduce your first song, which is A Voice from Above. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Voice from above, I love. It's my husband and I. It's an improvisation. It's just you can go anywhere with it. There's no words. It's just a chanting style. So.
And let us listen to a sample from A Voice from Above.
My husband did the guitar, and it's improvisation. We didn't know what we were going to do. So we went, and when we did it, we said we'll call this A Voice from Above because that's what we felt. So it's a chanting. It's a freestyle chanting.
Yeah, tell me about your mixture of the Spanish influence and your chanting.
Yes, it's got a Spanish yet Eastern energy in the vocals. And the chanting I do is because always people say, what kind of chanting do you do? It's very much a combination I do. I take a little bit Persian, I take a little bit Indian, I take a little bit Arabic, and I kind of mesh them up in my mind, and that's the kind of chanting I do. So it's not a particular style.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and listen to our second sample, Ave Maria.